social media was abuzz yesterday with reactions to the arrest of youth leader Ramkumari Jhakri, who was accused of speaking indecently against President Bidya Devi Bhandari. The continued hardline taken by leader Jhakri has not gone down well with the government, as Jhakri had vehemently opposed the government's restrictions on freedom of speech during Wednesday's show of strength as well. Following a dramatic day, the flamboyant youth leader was later released yesterday evening. Good morning, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Youth leader Ramkumari Jhakri released after being detained for almost 6 hours following massive protests. Action taken for speaking indecently against the president. A series of attempts to curb freedom of expression witnessed ever since Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli assumed the top executive role. Democrats conclude their arguments saying former U.S. President Donald Trump incited the 6th of January Capitol riot, warns Trump can do the same again if he is not convicted. And German club Bayern Munich defeat Mexican club Tigres by a solitary goal to lift the FIFA Club World Cup title. Benjamin Pavard scores the decider. Police released Nepal Communist Party youth leader Ramkumari Jhakri after detaining her for almost 6 hours yesterday. Police had taken the youth leader into custody yesterday and interrogated her after a complaint was lodged against Jhakri for making indecent remarks aimed at the president. However, later in the evening, leader Jhakri was released by the police after she signed the paper that said she honors the president. After her release, Jhakri said that she would always respect the head of the state and that her case should be dismissed, as she had only commented on the personal activities of the president. The police had issued an arrest warrant against leader Jhakri as per Article 58 of the Criminal Code for hurling insulting remarks against the president. The article provisions that an individual would be handed a 7-year imprisonment and a penalty of 70,000 rupees if found guilty. Earlier, youth leader Jhakri's supporters had chanted anti-government slogans outside her residence when the police arrived to arrest her. Analysts have said that leader Jhakri had failed to consider gender sensitivities while commenting on President Bidya Devi Bhandari. There has been a series of attempts to curb freedom of expression since Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli assumed the top executive role. The government, which has been criticized for drafting bills that discourage the freedom of expression through social media and imposing a penalty of 1 million rupees for journalists, arrested Nepal Communist Party youth leader Ramkumari Jhakri, charging her of making indecent remarks at a public program. We have more in this report.
Contrary to the preamble of the Constitution, which has guaranteed complete freedom of press, the government introduced the Media Council Bill in April 2019. The bill proposed a fine up to 1 million rupees for media houses and journalists violating the Code of Conduct. However, the government was compelled to withdraw the bill following widespread criticisms. The Information and Technology Bill, which provisioned a fine of 1.5 million rupees and imprisonment up to 5 years for using indecent remarks on social media, introduced in March same year, was also aimed at restricting the freedom of speech. The Parliamentary Committee rejected the proposal to form an information technology court in every province and take action by the government officials. However, the government did not allow the report prepared by the Parliamentary Committee on the bill to be tabled in the Parliament session. Following unsuccessful attempts to introduce bills of its interest, the government is now preparing to bring in directives to control freedom of expressions on the social media without any concrete legal basis. According to analysts, the detention of youth leader Ramkumari Jhakri exhibits that the government is bent on suppressing criticisms against it based on irrelevant legal provisions.
The National Human Rights Commission has urged the Indian government to conduct a fair investigation into the murder of a 12-year-old Nepali girl after she was gang raped in India. The NHRC wrote to the Indian National Human Rights Commission regarding the gang rape case of Sumitra Bika, a 12-year-old girl from Barbardia municipality in Bardia. The girl child was murdered and burnt near the Nepal-India border on 21st of January following the gang rape. The commission had contacted various local residents and police officials seeking information on the case and had concluded that the girl child was murdered and set ablaze after being gang raped. The commission, issuing a statement yesterday, said that it has written to India to probe into the barbaric and inhumane incident and book the perpetrators without delay. The NHRC has also called on the Indian government to ensure security and take necessary steps for the relief and compensation for the victim's family. The commission has also drawn the attention of the government of Nepal to take necessary diplomatic initiatives for the justice and security of the victim's family in connection with the incident. Economic activities in the country have rejuvenated following the drop in the coronavirus infection rate and the ongoing vaccination campaign. The latest data show that about 125 billion rupees loan has been dispersed in the industrial and trading sectors in the last 1.5 months alone. By the end of December 2020, there was excess liquidity of 200 billion rupees in the banking sector, which has now dropped to 64 billion rupees in just over a month's time. Credit demand has skyrocketed in recent days following the drop in the infection rate coupled with the vaccination campaign, as investors who were in a position of wait and watch have started expanding their investments. This has led to an investment of 127 billion rupees in this period. The Nepal Rashtra Bank has consumed 51 billion rupees of the excess liquidity. Apart from raising the liquidity management funds, the central bank has also increased refinancing in the pandemic-affected industries. About 82 billion rupees has been sent to refinancing in the market since the beginning of the current fiscal year. The central bank has estimated that there is likely to be shortage of investable funds in the near future if credit is expanded at the current rate. In just over 3 weeks, the credit flow has gone up by 44 billion rupees, particularly in the industrial and trading sectors. Deposit collection, meanwhile, has increased merely by 2 billion rupees as compared to the credit flow in this period. Analysts have attributed the increase in credit expansion to return to normalcy after the economy had reeled under the pandemic for over 9 months. We have heard of encroachment of wildlife since a long time. However, in recent time, there were also frightening reports where humans were attacked by wild animals. In this context, in our Public Voice segment, we had asked experts who had assembled in Butwal what should be done to minimize consequences due to wildlife encroachment. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
जसरी एउटा प्रकृतिमा विभिन्न किसिमका जनावरहरू एक आपसमा मिलेर बसेर प्रकृतिको इकोसिस्टमलाई ब्यालेन्स गरेर राखेका छन्, तिनीहरूलाई नै देखेर हामी मानव जाति पनि त्यति नै सचेत, सबैभन्दा विवेकशील बुद्धिजीवी भए तापनि हामी तिनीहरूबाट सिक्नुपर्ने धेरै कुराहरू छ जस्तो लाग्छ।
जहाँ जहाँ यस्ता घटना घटेछन् त्यसको वरपर बस्ने समुदायमा चाहिँ जनचेतनामूलक कार्यक्रम गर्न सकियो भने मात्र अलिकति यसले न्यूनीकरणमा मद्दत पुर्याउँछ।
सबैको सहअस्तित्व छ भन्ने कुरालाई चाहिँ स्वीकार गर्नु पर्यो र त्यही अनुसारको व्यवहार गर्नु पर्यो।
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. And here's the question. How do you take the efforts of arresting individuals who speak against the government? Your options are A, implementing laws, B, intolerance towards critics, and C, conservative. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And that's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.